I'm Matthew Connor. I've been with Greenpeace Manchester and then Greenpeace with Blackburn before that. I live in Whalley Range, South Manchester, and I'm a primary school teacher at a school in Hume, which some of you might know. And if any of my students have come on here, hello, and nice to see you, and feel free to put a message, as long as it's a nice message, in the chat box. Martin, do you want to introduce yourself? We've got a photo of Martin because he can't get his video on.
Yes, I bought a reconditioned computer without a webcam, thinking, who needs a webcam? Only pervs use webcams. I'd be fine without a webcam. So yeah, you're going to have to make do with a non-moving version of me. Anyway, I'm Martin. I'm one of the coordinators of the group. I live in Glossop. As well as the Greenpeace group, I have been part of Fat Free Greater Manchester. And all we have to do now in Fat Free Greater Manchester is organise our winding up party.
Yes, socially distancing, of course.
Absolutely, we've got to wait for that to be over then. Yeah.
Cool. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to do a talk that sort of starts a little bit in the past and then comes up to the present, and then I'm going to talk about the future. So going to start off by looking at a video, which is what we did in 2019. And then I've got some slides of what's happened in 2020, which you could probably appreciate isn't quite as much as what's happened in 2019. And hopefully you can forgive us for that. And then I've got a presentation just at the end talking about the green recovery, and I've got some different petitions for people to sign and a few other links to share with people. And then hopefully at the end, if we've got some questions, I can answer those questions for everybody. So what I'm going to do to begin with is we've got a video of what we did in 2019. Now for this, I could put it on, but it does that thing that videos do when you're not, Tudor, can I put things in the chat? Can I do that at all? Or
I can.
You can. Okay, Martin, could you? Oh, hang on a second. I think Martin, could you put a link to the Vimeo for 2019?
Right.
Now, yeah. I'm going to play the video, but it's not going to have any sound. So what you can do alternatively.
Hang on. Are you sure? We did this before in the breakout room. We definitely had sound.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, do you know what? Let's.
Should I play it, as I seem to be the one that knows what I'm doing?
Oh, okay. Well, do you know? Yes, you can do actually if you want. I've got it here ready. But if you want to play it, you feel free. And while people are watching this, you might sort of recognise yourself in some of these photos. You might have signed a particular petition. You might have got some interesting links about plastic waste that you might want to add in. And I'd just like to say before this begins, so we've got some photos of last year's INvirolution, and in one of the photos I'm making a bit of a silly face behind a man while he's signing one of the petitions. I just want to say to this man, I'm not making a silly face about you, I'm just being daft, so please don't come and see me on a stall in Manchester and punch me in the face for being cheeky.
Right. Can people see this?
I can see that one, yeah. I can see
great. If you see yourself in one of these pictures, what a really big yeehaw, okay? Right, here we go. Roll VT. Yeehaw!
We'll take a bit of this and that. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Run the show, will you ride up? We'll lie down beside you, big full of show.
You're on mute, Matt. You're on mute, Matt.
Damn.
Easily done. It's
Yes,
not
good job,
the
people
first
giving me
time.
that,
It made me
isn't it?
laugh.
Maybe they could lip read that.
Yeah, so thank you for getting that to work, Martin. And cool, brilliant. And hopefully everybody heard that. And you know, if you saw yourself in there, or you sort of helped support one of those campaigns, you know, nice one. And thank you very much. So now, quite whether we're going to do a 2020 video, we'll have to see. We've sort of only got part of the way in the year before lockdown. And obviously, you know, it's been very sad lockdown, but it's been very sad as well because, you know, we've had to stop campaigning, or at least divert our campaigns online for a lot of issues. We had the climate conference in Glasgow that was arranged for later on this year, and we were going to be doing lots of things that involve that, and also with the Oceans campaign. But what I've done is I've made a little presentation here with just a couple of things that we did this year already. And actually, Martin is going to talk about the first bit for us just here, when some naughty people visited Barclays Bank.
Yeah.
Is that PowerPoint showing, guys? Is
yeah.
that on?
I can certainly see it. Yeah, this is definitely unfinished business. The last thing we did before lockdown. I mean, you're only as good as your last action, so maybe this one should hang around for a while. Well, Barclays, well, I think there's plenty of reasons why you should target Barclays. They are up to their necks in fossil fuel investments globally. So basically, this kind of shows the way that that the Greenpeace activists can organise. So, in a certain amount of secrecy, with wheels inside wheels, and one person not knowing what the person stood next to him was doing, Greenpeace organised for, now then, what are the figures? Just under 100 Barclays branches were visited by...
I think it was 98.
98, yeah, by something like 20 or 25 separate teams of people, probably more than that, who all got up very early in the morning one day and went around. Decorating the front doors, as you can see, to remind any customers of what was going on, and also super gluing their locks shut. Plus 4 lucky places, including Manchester, got the stock Barclays mobile caravan parking outside themselves. You have Manchester, Belfast, Edinburgh, and somewhere in London, I think. And this was supposed to be the start of the campaign that rolled on through March and April. But it's been paused but not stopped because, yeah, Barclays are still funding the climate emergency. And we want to do something about that. So this is unfinished business. Watch this space. But I think 98 branches visited in the first few minutes of opening on one day. It was a pretty good start.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one, Martin. So that happened just before lockdown. And then... so in January, we held an exhibition and we invited people over and we had some artwork that was taken on the Esperanza during its pole-to-pole journey. We also had some artwork from a number of primary schools around Manchester, including the one that I work with, and we gave a talk on basically supporting the Global Ocean Treaty. And we had people come along and write messages to their local MP. And this was something that we were hoping was going to be concluded by the start of May this year. It's something of a bit of a disappointment. So for the last couple of years within the UN, since 2018, there's been negotiations on running about basically having 30% of the world's oceans set aside from exploitation, overfishing, being exploited by mining and the oil industry. So 30% of the world's oceans being set aside by 2030. Now, the UK government actually was backing this, and so there was some success with this campaign. But like a lot of things, it's been delayed till next year. We've not got a date yet. Well, as far as I'm aware, anyway, for the final set of talks and the treaty to hopefully be ratified. But we're going to have to wait on that. But feeling quite positive about that. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. So the next part of this campaign, because the UK government is supporting this, is to actually look at what's happening within UK waters. And you may or may not know this, but it's between 25 and 30% of the waters around the UK are actually set aside as MPAs or marine protection areas. And there's varying degrees of legislation that these are enshrined within. But unfortunately, they do allow big 100-meter long super trawlers to come along, ships that can carry about 1,100 tons of fish and actually fish within these areas, which kind of makes it a little bit ironic. Why would we call them marine protection areas if we didn't protect the marine life? So the next part of our campaign is to lobby the UK government to say, these marine protection areas, again, we're just talking about 25 to 30% of the seas around the United Kingdom. We're asking for these super trawlers to not visit these areas. And for those areas, and in the future, far more of the seas around the UK, being left for local fishers, these local hard-hit communities that that have suffered for decades upon decades. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share a little link here, hopefully, and this is actually a petition for you guys to sign here. I'm just going to pop this in here, and you can get a little bit more detail on this. Now, there are, if you do want more details on this, there are actually talks going on around the country. We had one just the other day, which you can actually log on to, which I will share the link a little bit later with you guys. Tudor, how much longer do we have left?
Well, we have, I mean, technically that's 3 or 4 minutes, but I don't know if you, I mean, I'm happy to, I mean, I can let you in about 5 minutes late, so I'm happy to run over by a few minutes if you want to just, if you want to make sure you cover everything.
Cut to the chase, Matt, anyway.
Okay, yeah, well, well, another thing that I was going to do here was I was going to just very quickly talk about the green recovery and just go into the future. So what I might do, if it's okay, Tudor, is just quickly go through that presentation in about 3 or 4 minutes and then finish it off there. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Okay, nice. So I'm just going to share my screen again, and I'm just going to, in fact, sorry, let me just go out to this, sorry, and I'm going to escape from here, and I will go back into here, and I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Right, so I said 3 or 4 minutes. It's now going to be 2 or 3 minutes. Don't worry.
Time wasting, and we'll be done, Matt. That's it. We won't have to say anything else.
Yes, in fact, let me. Oh, hang on a second. It's here. Yeah. So, hopefully, people want to know about what Greenpeace has to say about a green future. And let me see. Let me just go into this here, and let's just present this. Here you go. I will get this up. Can we see this, guys? Thumbs up if we can. The green future.
Good.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So obviously, guys, I think a lot of you will have had lots of conversations with people about this. You know, what's going to happen going beyond this point. It's been talked by Greta Thunberg recently on this area, and, you know, what's going to happen beyond COVID. And really, Greenpeace saying that we've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make real and long-lasting change beyond the pandemic and the terrible occurrences that have been happening recently. Okay, so when we're battling COVID, really and while this is happening, the climate and nature emergencies are quietly getting worse. And even though there's been a drop in emissions recently, this is just a short-term thing, and deforestation is actually getting worse at this point. And basically, the climate crisis threatens to be far lengthier and far more disruptive than what we are seeing now. And we've actually seen within this that people are willing to make changes, for the good. For the good of humanity. And this is something that we're always told that human beings won't do. But we've seen it here. Okay, so first of all, we've got the bailouts here. So there's bailouts and loans going to the aviation companies. And we just want to make sure that these aren't blank checks. And the conditions are put in place for these that protects workers, and the workers, you know, who work within the aviation industry. And that's a separate topic. We see what's going on there, and the planets itself. And we're asking for a key asks that basically internationally and aviation companies, their emissions are actually set within the net zero by 2045 law. And also that the aviation sector is basically puts fair contributions towards public finances and towards a green recovery. Okay. And we want a green recovery package for the economy. It's basically all about creating jobs, attracting private investment, is boosting demand of the economy, but it is compatible with a green recovery and also delivering net zero emissions by 2045. There's a real opportunity here. The redesigning of transport, speeding up of the transition to electric cars by making them more affordable, by creating jobs within this particular area, by boosting investments. I want electric affordable transport around our cities, and also the redesigning of urban transport. And we've been, part of our job is to actually look at cycle lanes and how we can improve getting about Manchester in a green and sustainable way. And then we've got making buildings fit for the 21st century. We want a nationwide energy efficiency programme, new buildings to support net zero future, and to establish a warm homes agency. And this, you know, we want offshore wind, we want a 300% increase in offshore wind, the backbone of the UK energy. We want to support onshore wind and solar, and also we're looking for the government to invest in an upgrade within the electric grid. And as far as supporting nature and the circular economy is to restore and enhance nature. Want a strong environmental bill coming out of Brexit, and also looking towards a zero waste economy and bringing industry in with that. And I could speak a little bit more, but I reckon we're pretty much done with this. Except to just leave. Oh, sorry, I will go out of here very quickly, and I just want to leave you with the words of Boris Johnson here, who in April 2020 said, "Nations will begin to emerge from lockdown and look to fire up their economies once again. When that happens, it will be a duty of every responsible government," I think that includes our own, "to rebuild in a way that will stand the test of time. That means investing in industries and infrastructure that can turn the tide on climate change. And it means doing all we can to boost resilience and shaping economies that can withstand everything nature throws at us." So it appears Boris Johnson agrees with us.
Well, he wasn't that thing. Yeah, he may not have meant it, but we can still hold him to it anyway.
He may not have meant it, but he said it now. So yes, we're definitely going to make sure he. You know. Yeah, but you know, hope springs eternal and all that. So thank you for inviting us on, Tudor. And,
no, it's been great to hear about what you guys have been up to. Yes, it is a shame we've only got half an hour. It's half an hour of content, and I do feel like there's some questions which we might have been able to ask you.
Do you know what, Tudor? There's a simple answer to that. If anybody wants to come and find out more, they can just come to one of our meetings once lockdown's over. We've been doing Zoom meetings, so you could just go on the Greenwire page or the Facebook page, and people can join in with those. Or when we get back to the Lasagowry and the pubs open again, which I'm looking forward to our first online meeting. We meet first Thursday of every month, 7:30, Lasagowry. So more members, please.
Well, until then, you take care of yourself, and it was good to meet you and yourself, Martin. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it, and hopefully this time next year you'll be summarising what you did
back at the Real Festival. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
See you guys.
Okay, bye.